Plus, I do have gold.
Rubber boots, rubber boots. 1, 2, 3, everybody get set. 4, 5, 6, are we having any fun yet? Here comes Jimmy with the rubber boots pod, presented by BedSafe.net. It's 100% free. No gimmicks, no strings, just free. We'll talk about life and a little sports now. You know we're gonna play some games. But if nothing else, you know you're gonna have a laugh. You're gonna have a laugh. We're gonna have a laugh. This is the podcast.
BedSafe.net.
This is the podcast. This is the pod.
So, early installment of What You Watching.
What you watching?
Brooksy, who I'm worried about, by the way, because she's been locked in the house now for about a year and she's starting to go a little bit loopy.
I guess that's what I'm saying, Brooksy.
So she's watched everything there is to possibly watch on the Netflix and the Crave and the on demand and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So she's running through movies with me the other day, and she says to me, "Malcolm X, what's that about?"
Oh no!
I said,
Maybe you have to give me a call.
Brooksy, that's
Behind the scenes for Malcolm in the Middle.
That's about Malcolm X.
At least she didn't say Malcolm 10.
Oh, she said, "I know that." I just said, what's the movie about? I'm like, well, it's about Malcolm X's life, I guess.
Wow. Come on, Brooks.
One of the greatest performances of Denzel Washington's career, I would say.
Yeah, he was fantastic in that.
I watched Denzel in a serial killer movie. Was I telling you about that last week on the pod?
No.
He's who's the really good actors coming out as the Joker in the new film? You know,
In the new film?
he's the new Joker. He's already played the Joker.
Phoenix.
Oh,
What's his
Joaquin
name?
Phoenix, yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin
No,
Phoenix.
no, not Joaquin Phoenix. No.
Oh,
not
Jared
Joaquin
Leto.
Phoenix. Thank you.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Yeah. So Jared Leto is the he's in the movie. Denzel's in the movie, and it's called The Little Things.
Okay.
And it has a very Seven-ish feel to it.
Really?
You know, when Gwyneth's head ends up in the box.
In the box. What's in the box? What's in the box?
Spoiler alert.
That was great.
That movie left me more disturbed than probably any movie I've ever seen. Do you guys see really Seven in the theater?
Yeah.
Fair enough. That's reasonable.
I might have.
I walked out of that because that was back in the days when usually there were happy endings.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the serial killer movie, the serial killer would get caught by the cop.
Yeah.
Right?
But that's the good thing about that movie too. So unexpected.
It is.
Yeah.
So I don't want to give too much away. And like, this movie is not perfect, The Little Things, but you know, for a Saturday night, you and the ladies,
Hold on,
Lester
ladies.
is good.
Ladies?
Oh, sorry.
What kind of harem are you
I meant
running
Lester.
over there?
I was talking about Lester.
Listen, trust me, I'm alone. Again.
Anyway, the other thing I wanted to ask you guys. Oh, by the way, welcome to the Rubber Boots podcast, brought to you by BetSafe.net. That's my friend Christoph. That's Puffy, and that's Lester. Darian is home for a little bit. She's mostly living in Guelph with her roommates.
Yeah.
And Darian was looking for your advice because she knows you guys are on the cutting edge of everything that's hip with the kids. And
That's
particularly, she asked Puffy because she knows that Puffy loves college and the university life. And would like to go back to it if you had the opportunity.
I would. If I get enough gold bars, that's what I'm going.
Remember when you suggested that we do one of our podcasts down at Guelph?
I still think that's a good idea.
General's reaction to that was, "You guys are creepy."
Wow.
So
fair.
Darian,
That's very fair.
She lives in a house with like 5 girls, and
Okay.
a couple of houses down, 5 guys.
Nice.
Now, COVID, not during COVID. They can't. They're being really good. They stay in their bubble. The guys can't come over. But they have a prank.
Whoa. Did you actually believe her?
That's what she told me.
You think that 5 college-age ladies and 5 college-age gentlemen do not intermix during the COVID?
She told me that they are sticking to their own personal bubbles, and I tend to believe that my daughter's responsible enough to do that.
But I mean, you're allowed to.
I'm not going to
aren't
ask.
you?
I'm not going to ask anything further because I don't want the answer.
That's fair.
I don't want to know.
You just walk by in the hall. They walk by each other in the hall. Hey, Derek.
She's my little girl.
How you doing today?
Yeah.
Anyway, they have a prank contest going.
Okay, that's good.
So it's kind of old school stuff, and so the ladies the other night they saran wrapped all the boys' cars.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Entirely saran wrapped them.
That's good.
So the men, what they did was they went on after a snowfall. They got on all the ladies' cars and they poured some sort of yellow substance. I think it was some sort of juice kind of thing with food coloring. And then they made 2 footprints on the car as if they got on top of the car and urinated on their cars. Very college pranky.
Okay.
But they didn't actually do it. They did juice or something like that. So anyway, long-winded way.
How are you certain of that?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Because
they
told
were coming
them.
across
they told them after.
incredibly naive here.
No, the boys told them after that they didn't pee on their cars.
Go on.
I am naive, and I'm going to stay that way. All right.
If they told that, then they wouldn't be lying about that.
Who'd lie?
Darian is going to have her first kiss and first drink on her wedding night. She promised. But Puffy, Darian's looking for advice on pranks, so you don't have to come up with it right now.
Okay.
But, they look at you as the college. It's very big at Rubber Boots Pod, and they look at you as kind of the guy who never left college. Like in old school, Luke Wilson's character, right? He's the king, right? What is it? What do they call him?
The Godfather.
The Godfather.
The Godfather. Yeah, the Godfather. To Darian and everyone at Guelph, you're the Godfather. So
I would love to rent a house in the Guelph area and live that life for like 8 semesters, and then I would be done. It would be out of my system.
8 semesters?
8 semesters, and I do summers there too. Then I would be ready to move on.
That would be a show, gentlemen. What happens when the host of a podcast is the one who is eliminated from the new popular segment of the podcast?
Yes.
Let's say 3 weeks in, seeing that I'm referring, of course, to the Gold Bar League, the background behind our producer, Stoff. What am I down to, Stoff?
Let me refer to the standings here. 3.
Wait a second. What do you got?
There's 3 gold bars for Jimmy. And then there's about Lester and Stoff.
9.
And then there's me.
Are those chocolate coins? You got chocolate coins?
No, they're real gold bars. They were sent to me.
Those are not. They're not bars. They're little circular coins.
That's just the camera. The camera changes bars.
I'm looking forward to the end of the pod where his face is just covered in chocolate.
With chocolate, exactly.
I don't want to get into. You know what? We can come back to the Gold Bar League, brought to you by BetSafe.net in a second. But I just want to tell you about my Super Bowl weekend because we love the BetSafe.net sponsor, and I'm more comfortable playing the innocent free games on the BetSafe.net. Yes. Puffy's always been the gambling expert along with Stoff on the podcast, right? Lester, you and I are more naive waifs.
Yeah, yes.
We're just innocent little waif.
Okay, yes.
I was looking for the word. What's the word waif? What does that even mean?
WAIFS.
Yeah, an innocent waif. What is a waif? Yes. Puffy, look that up for me right now. What is a waif?
I shall. Efforting.
Stoff?
I can look it up here.
Was it an appropriate reference?
It's a living creature removed by hardship, loss, or helpless circumstances from the original.
I got homeless, neglected, or abandoned person, especially a child.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's what I feel. That's kind of right.
Yeah.
Innocent waif.
Very good.
So Lester and I are kind of like that. You guys have, influenced me to. I like to prefer to watch the sports and see what's going on, but Super Bowl, I have friends, and I have a certain friend who may have played in the National Football League. People are going to think automatically of our panelists. I don't want you thinking that, but I have a friend who played in the National Football League who is along the lines of Puffy and Stoff, wagers a little bit more than I would.
Yeah.
So he calls me, I think on the Friday, and says, Jimmy, I want you in on this one. I know you don't play a lot, but I feel really, really, this is as good as I've felt in a big game in a long time.
Yeah.
And I said, well, what are you putting in? And it was a lot.
Wow.
And so I felt peer pressure to participate.
Mm-hmm.
And
as you should.
So I put in, like a sixth of a quality purse, a handbag.
Okay.
All right. So I felt very nervous about this. And this was on the Chiefs, by the way. He had felt really good about the Chiefs.
Felt good about them.
So Chiefs drive for a field goal on their first possession. Tampa Bay goes 3 and out.
Yep.
Said friend calls the innocent waif Jimmy back and says, I feel even better now. Trust me. I've been there. I've been in the trenches. We're going to double down. And I said, I don't really know about that. I got 3 kids in university. And he said, trust me, Jimmy. This is a lock. And I'm like, how can it be a lock? One field goal into the game.
The words echo in your ears. Trust me, Jimmy. This is a lock. Trust me.
So
Jimmy.
I said, okay, I'm in. And within 10 minutes of that phone call, it was 14-3, and it was pretty much over. Yeah. And this, it was 3.5 on the money line.
Some of us decided to double down at that point. But.
Seriously? Did you?
Yeah, well, I definitely put a little more money down. I was waiting for it to KC if they went down by a bit. I thought they'd make the comeback, but I thought Tom would also stall.
So
I thought KC's offense would have been a lot better prepared. So
I don't know what happened to KC. I'm very disappointed. Continue.
They lost their.
And by
tackles.
the way, to our listeners, we're not just talking about betting and gambling. BetSafe.net are our proud sponsors here. We continue to be the Rubber Boots Pod and do all the other things we do, but only because it's Super Bowl Sunday. And I wanted to. One of the things I like to do on the podcast is share my problems with all of you, right? And this is my problem of the week. Jimmy's problem of the week. There could be a segment. Is I'm broke, but Puffy, the game went the opposite for you because you won everything.
Day. Yeah,
right.
And so I was watching it with my family, and of course Barrett was right into the bets with me. So we were all on the Bucks early, and then they have bets where you can bet on first touchdown of the game, and so I looked at the odds.
You went Gronk.
Gronkowski was plus 1,400. So I threw $50 down on that. And when he scored, I exploded off the couch. I'm going crazy. Barrett's going crazy. And then Barrett starts saying, Mom, Dad just won $700. And I'm like, no. And she's like, oh, really? You won 700, eh? And so she's going to wonder why I'm having to refill my account in about 4 days because I lose it all on NBA and NHL long shots. But it was
might be time. She probably took that money and made another deposit in Prince Edward County.
Exactly.
Slowly you move your real estate empire all over the place there.
Exactly.
We might as well, since I brought it up, let's do it quickly here. So basically the bottom line is I lost every single prop bet. Is that correct, Stock?
Yeah, you're the only one out of us who went over.
And I have 3 gold bars remaining.
Yes, you had 10 at the beginning of the week.
We started with 10 2 weeks ago. So if we were putting real money, let's say we just took out a second mortgage and we put $100,000 into the Gold Bar League, I would have $30,000 left after 2 weeks of the Gold Bar League.
Yes,
that's terrible.
Puffy, how many what does he have? Like 20 gold bars now?
Well, Puffy's at 13.
13.
What are you
surprisingly low for doing well?
I'm at 7. Lester's at 9.
I am at 9.
Quite surprising for a innocent waif.
Well, here's the thing. I did not feel good on Sunday, and it was not looking good. But 2 things happened for me. Number one, the punt prop bet came through, and then I jumped off my couch like Puffy when the roughing the passer call.
That was an exciting moment for me too.
Well, Lester, I think we have a little group chat on WhatsApp, and I believe Lester, you texted we need a sack like about 30 seconds before the sack, right? You may be a prophet that you don't even know about.
Well, I didn't profit at all this weekend, I'll tell you that.
All right, let's go. Once again, Stoff has come through with a whole list of things here. We'll get to our listeners in the Gold Bar League a little bit later on, but let's go through some of the Super Bowl things first of all. You had some commercials there. I agree with you, Stoff. Did you like the T-Mobile one with Brady and
that was fantastic.
Yeah, it was witty. Yeah. It was funny. I enjoyed that.
You want to play a little clip?
Yeah, we'll play a little bit of it here.
Bronk.
What up, TB?
What do you think my next move should be? Give it to me straight. Maybe it's just time I hang him up.
I got one word for you. Retirement. If you retire now, you're gonna be walking on soft sand in a week. Just come to Florida and feel the wind in your hair. Retirement is like winning another one. Maybe I'll even join you.
On the Spotty Network, this is what Tom heard.
If you retire now, you're soft and weak. Just come to Florida and win another one. Maybe I'll even join you.
Just go win another one.
Like it's that easy, Gronk. Maybe it is. I still feel like I have a lot to accomplish.
My goal is to win one more.
And Gronk's coming with me.
I'm retired from retiring? Mom, where are my football pants?
Don't trust big decisions to just any network. Go with T-Mobile, the GOAT in 5G.
And I'm not soft or weak either.
T-Mobile is the leader in 5G.
Yeah, that one, I thought that was good. I don't know that Brady has the potential to be like a Peyton Manning. I don't know that he has like the acting and comedic chops, but that was solid.
He's probably not there with that. But my one thing with those is, I don't know if you guys remember when he won his 6th Super Bowl, right after he had an ad where he had 6 rings on his fingers. So he's obviously taping these ahead of time.
Yeah.
Like as an athlete going into a game, do you think like some guys would be too superstitious to do something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I could not see Sidney Crosby, for example, doing it.
Yeah, well, Sidney Crosby is also a crazy person when it comes to superstitions.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But hockey guys, I think hockey guys are more superstitious than other athletes.
Absolutely, 100%.
But I'm sure Mark Messier would have probably done a commercial after he'd won like 5 titles. Like once you won that many, I think you're.
I guess you're pretty confident. So I guess this leads me to this question: is there a commercial out there somewhere floating around from the year that the Eagles beat the Patriots? That would have been number 6, I guess, right? Yeah. So
right.
Like well, for the ones that he's lost, do you think there's commercials somewhere banked that I guess we'll just never see?
I would say pretty big confident yes. Yes.
Yeah, I would say on those deals, probably the entire crew signs an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, and then it just disappears into the. In fact, that one with his 6 could have been filmed before the Eagles one, right? Stop, and they just put it in the vault till they got it back.
Yeah, like I don't remember the specifics of the commercial, but I mean, it could be. I guess.
I'm sure they just know those commercials just run in other parts of the world. Like the same place they send the T-shirts.
Yeah.
right.
Hey, getting back to acting chops, you talked about Brady, but you didn't mention Gronk. I thought Gronk was really good.
Yeah,
I think Gronk could definitely.
Mom, where are my football pants?
Mom, where are my football pants?
Yeah, that was good. Underrated line.
Yeah, it's good.
Now you have another one too. There was one about oat milk.
Yeah,
I believe in. Did you mention this as a trip? Well, I think what it is more than anything else is that they have stolen the lyrical formula from Hello. Is that correct, Scott?
Oh, my God.
Yes.
Let's play.
It's a little more complex, but in the ballpark.
Wow, no cow. No. Wow, no cow. No. Wow, no cow. No. Wow.
Was that the actual like CEO singing?
Apparently, that is the CEO of the company, and he just shot. I guess he spent all the money for the commercial on the actual placement into the Super Bowl. Look, it's catchy, regardless of what you think how it is. It definitely gets stuck in your head.
Yeah,
good for him.
Drake makes a cameo. I did not have Drake appearing in a insurance ad at the Super Bowl.
Hey, Ratchets, look, I'm you.
Jake from State Farm. You couldn't find a stand-in who looked anything like me?
Have you seen mine?
It's like looking in a mirror, right?
Now that one makes sense.
Look, guys, I don't even have a stand-in.
Of course you do.
Hold on, is that Drake?
That's right. Drake from State Farm.
Like a good neighbor. Like a good neighbor. Stand-ins don't have lines.
Oh, okay.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I like this one. First of all, Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
Also.
Oh yeah.
Brilliant.
Expensive commercial.
And Drake. I'm surprised Drake hasn't been in movies.
Remember
when he hosted the
SNL?
ESPYs.
Oh, ESPYs.
Well, he hosted the ESPYs and he hosted the Junos, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Did he?
And he did. I can't remember if it was the Junos or the ESPYs where they did a bit on old money. You know the whole Young Money thing, and he was in a seniors home. They did a bit on old money, which was hilarious.
My last album, it did well, but it could have done better in my opinion. So for this new one coming out this year, which is called Take Care, I think I've devised a plan. I really feel like I've stumbled upon an untapped gold mine, and instead of Young Money today, it's all about old money. I just want to sort of get an idea of what you know about Canadian hip hop. So I'm gonna give you some names. You just fire right back at me. Just give it right back. Cardinal.
Cardinal.
You don't have to whisper though, you can say it. Let Your Backbone.
Let your backbone. I gotta keep my backbone warm.
Warm? Well, that's okay. It's Slide, just for the record.
Like he's very good at these things.
He's very good.
Hey, listen, people forget he was an actor first.
Oh, he is an actor,
Yeah, so I mean it's great. No, I love that spot. I think it was very good when they're both trying to say the line at the same time. At the end.
And then he's just like crunch.
And Lester, I'll leave you, the musician, to evaluate the weekend's performance halftime show.
I thought it was fantastic, and I have to say that I think that one of the things that really stood out for me is that apparently it was 100% live, and you can hear at times that's the case. Different inflections that he did, and he's saying things very differently than he does on the record. But I thought it was amazing. I'm proud to say he is a Scarborough born, as am I, a Scarborough boy, as I am. And we have one of his drummer is a gentleman by the name of Ricky Lewis, and I know Ricky. And I saw pictures of them on Instagram from the Super Bowl. So they were there.
Did you ever come across, like when the weekend was just starting out a few years ago, was there ever any cross paths on a gig or something?
I have a friend of mine by the name of Adrian X. Adrian X had a show downtown somewhere. I can't remember where it was, but he was there. The weekend was there. But I didn't get a chance to say hello. Yeah, but he was there. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But I thought
that high school, yeah. Sorry, I was going to say that high school he went to, is it Burdenthorpe? No. He went, whatever his high school, the name of in Scarborough that he went to. I used to go speak there because there was a former TSN person that was working there. And so I went like 3 years in a row, and I keep thinking in my head, did I speak to the weekend? Maybe I inspired him.
I think you did.
You know, when I said something very original, like follow your dreams. And he said, oh, Jimmy.
You say
it was Birchmount Park Collegiate is the school.
Yeah, that's it. Birchmount Park Collegiate. That's it. That high school he went to, is it Burdenthorpe?
Ding, ding.
Yes.
You were probably like, these lights are blinding me. And he's like, whoa.
Listen, whatever you do, son, in life, you got to earn it.
Is there anybody out there? Of silence.
Come on, that was funny.
Puffy beat you to the punchline.
Hello? Is this on?
It's all timing.
Hello.
Comedy is
Jesus.
Like they usually go for they like wholesome at the Super Bowl, right? You can never swear or anything. The whole Janet Jackson thing. Do they know? Do you think Roger Goodell knows that most of the weekend songs are about drugs?
No chance. Zero chance.
Why you got him?
He assumed I Can't Feel My Face was about walking in the cold.
I don't think it's about that at all. Anyway, here's my comment. I thought it was good too. I didn't think it was the greatest performance ever, but I really liked it. And I just think that as soon as I turned on Twitter, I'm like, everyone's going to rip this thing because it's all these, sorry, I'm one of them, but middle-aged white guys or older people that like their Bruce Springsteen. No offense, we love Bruce Springsteen, but you know what I mean? Like they were going to rip him no matter what happened. And it's almost every year with the Super Bowl, unless it's some act from way back when that everybody loves, like the freaking, like I said, Springsteen or U2 or something like that. There's
Or
always
Prince
like a significant portion of people that will just rip the act and start ripping it right from the beginning. And it's
we talked about
my
it.
kids all
before.
loved it.
And it's like it's just the way things are right now. It's either you love it or you hate it. There's no in between. I don't think we're ever going to see a portion of time again where people are like, for the most part, unanimously together on something. It just doesn't seem like it's ever going to happen ever again.
We're in a time when it's impossible to blow people away anymore, right? Like like you can't. I just think it's really hard to blow somebody away with a performance on television because
I think bringing out 2 guests would have helped. That's just
would have helped me. Would have helped me. Did we all have the over on that?
I think
yes.
Had the over.
I suggested that prop, but I was disappointed. But I mean, I still didn't think it took it away from the performance.
No. Well, but if you, like I said, if you count the guys with the masks on their face and the violinists, they're probably quite well known.
There's a couple
of
famous people in there.
Yeah, I mean, we could appeal that, couldn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if we find out if there were actually some cameos and we didn't know it, then I think we have to revise the ones, right?
Looking at it, some of us would have a higher stake in that than others. Jimmy, 2 gold bars.
Yeah.
2 of the dancers were Eddie Murphy, and
that's who you came up with for dancers.
That's pretty.
Yo-Yo Ma was definitely one of the violinists,
right?
Yeah, well, that's
cellist. Yeah.
He's a cellist, you idiot! Didn't you know that?
He switched it up in the Super Bowl.
Who thinks Yo-Yo Ma's a
Hey, I'm pretty sure he can do any kind of string instrument. These guys aren't one-dimensional. Lester can play like 11 instruments.
Well. That is true.
Let's get to things that I saw on Twitter.
Freaky pigs, strange chicks, world affairs, polar bears, fake news, nice shoes, big boobs, jack dudes. All of these things and more as I sat on the shitter. Things that I saw on Twitter.
All right, Stoff. Go ahead.
Alrighty.
Vaccine. Russia has too much vaccine and nobody wants to take it.
I don't know if they have too much vaccine. Unlike other places, they're having a hard time giving their vaccine to people. I saw somewhere in a study that only 38% of adults in Russia are willing to take the vaccine, but the government aims to vaccinate 60% of them. So something's going to give. Something's going to give.
Gee, what a shocker that no one would trust Putin to give you a substance.
Well, Putin
has poison you.
Putin has a plan in place. In Moscow, one of the places where you can get the vaccine is giving away free ice cream in order to entice people to get the vaccine. Someone said the ice cream itself is worth 100 rubles, so I guess that's something.
So Putin is doing the basically world leader / almost dictator equivalent of, "Hey, little girl, come in my van. I got candy."
I have to admit, though, I'm getting close to maybe willing to take the old Russian vaccine.
Well, that was going to be my next question. Would you take the Russian vaccine right now if you could go on a family trip to Turks and Caicos tomorrow?
Yes, I would. I would, for sure.
You would take the Russian vaccine?
Yeah.
Would you just take the Russian vaccine if they showed up at your house right now?
If they had like 3 gold bars, I would for sure.
Well, I think you're leaving it out another scenario. They had like 3 soldiers with rifles. You know what I mean?
I would also then take the vaccine.
Yeah,
I mean, are people dropping dead in Russia from the vaccine?
No, because they're not taking it.
Well, there's somebody's taking it. I'm sure Putin's taking it. He looks like he's doing great.
I'm sure they would never cover up someone getting sick.
There are these. Somebody alerted me to an anti-vaccine video where they were talking. I think maybe I was talking about it on the pod where they people think that they're just using the vaccines to track us. That they're inside the vaccine is some sort of thing that they can track all of our movements.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and those people watch that.
I am not a conspiracy theorist, as we've talked here, but in Russia, I wouldn't put it by them.
No, you already have your phone.
Yeah, but
they can track you.
that's the thing. They can track you in the phone.
I'll be honest. I mean, obviously, we all want our privacy, but this whole thing where like the government's going to track us and find out that I sit here and work and then go downstairs and watch TV. Like, what are they gonna?
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, look, who knows, right? I mean, but I will say this. I mean, my understanding is that the vaccine came out before it was approved in Russia. Is that what I saw? I think in that story. So it's like, how's it available before it's ready? Like, well, come on. I'm not taking that
maybe
vaccine.
this is their testing phase.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Let's get. By the way, we don't get into the politics and the big issues on this podcast, but let's get rolling, Canada. All right, let's get rolling.
It's embarrassing.
What the hell's going on?
It's embarrassing.
What the hell is going on?
You know, and I've heard do not judge. It's too early to judge. Like, if we suddenly have piles of it in March and April, and fine, we'll retract our statement. But let's go. We live in Canada. We brag about Canada.
Yeah.
We brag to our American neighbors how we're better with healthcare and better organized and the whole bit. Come on, let's go.
We might be the worst in the world right now.
We're not the worst in the world, but we're like 48th and behind some ridiculous countries.
Yes. Like Israel, not that Israel's a ridiculous country, but Israel is like well on their way. Now,
almost done.
Well, Israel's a difference. Israel's a unicorn in this entire thing, right?
Yeah.
Small country, and they've got like half the population done or something ridiculous.
But even like
Canada,
Greece is ahead of us.
Wake up. Yeah.
I don't understand why we're not making it here. That's all I'll say.
Well, we will in 2026.
We'll get on top of it.
If there was a shortage of pucks, we'd be on that, wouldn't we?
Boys,
yeah, exactly.
If this thing lasts into the summer, I got big problems in the household. I love my girl to death, but she's having a little trouble now, and
I guess that's what I'm saying, Brooksy.
We need to get through this.
Just keep buying our bags, buddy.
Hashtag pray for Brooksy. Let's get it trending on the Rubber Boots pod.
Done.
Get that through your head.
Or I will just be living. I won't have the house anymore. I will be living in a tent made of Christian Dior bags.
That's not a bad way to go.
In a park.
Oh, that's not good.
Mac and Cheetos. What's this about stuff? Somebody is. I watched this for a second. Someone is putting. Now, have I told you guys about my upbringing? I love my mother to death.
Well, this is why I included this recipe.
Yeah.
Right. We've talked about Aspic and things.
Aspic,
yes.
And,
by the way, I will say
mother...
I've actually had Aspic. Like my parents will buy it from the store on Christmas. It's like this greenish thing and Jello, and I don't know. I think my father eats a piece and then we toss the rest.
No, that thing's disgusting looking.
Yeah.
But at least my Aspic was homemade. That's just sounds wrong. But my Aspic was homemade. The thing about Aspic, and it's been a few seasons since we talked about this, I loved it. Like, I adored the Aspic for years. Like, it wasn't until I was probably, maybe when I met Brooksy, and Brooksy came for Christmas dinner the first time when we were, I don't know, late 20s, and we left, and Brooksy said, Jimmy, what the is with this Aspic thing?
And you're like,
and I'm like, what? What are you talking about, Brooksy?
Why did your parents Jello meat?
It's got cottage cheese. It's got tomato soup in a Jello form. It's got green onions. What wouldn't you like about it, Brooksy? Why are you questioning this? But Brooksy opened my eyes to a lot of those things. Like my mom, we had a very standard formula for dinners during the week at our house.
Yeah, and
I've realized that a lot of it would include Kraft dinner, mac and cheese, but she would mix it up. She was an evil genius. She would trick us into thinking it was an original dinner. So like Mondays would be mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe a little white bread on the side to dip it in. Always yummy.
Nice.
And Tuesday would be some chicken, and she made something called chicken and scum sauce. That's what we called it. It was like a mushroom sauce. My sisters called it chicken and scum sauce. And then Wednesday, mac and cheese with hamburger. So Kraft
hamburger helper
with some hamburger in there. It wasn't really hamburger helper. I think she'd actually cook the hamburger on the skillet and dump it in the mac and cheese.
Nice.
Quite yummy.
Okay.
Thursday, maybe hamburgers or something, right? Or whatever, maybe leftover. Friday, mac and cheese with wieners cut up in it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also yummy. Saturday, homemade pizza. She did that very well. And then Sunday was always some sort of lamb chop or a pork chop, which was my least favorite day of the week. It was always overcooked. Our parents' generation were always scared of salmonella. I don't know why that is, but everything was overcooked. More you know.
Yes.
And anyway, what was the point of all that? Okay, Cheetos and mac and cheese. That's the one thing she never did. So this woman, Stoff, she's putting. Just explain what she does. And
so basically, she pours out a whole bag of Cheetos. She boils it and cooks it down. It becomes almost like this red sauce. She cooks the actual macaroni on another pot like you would normally. Then she takes the cheese packet and puts it into the boiling Cheetos water, mixes it in there, dumps the macaroni in, and you have mac and cheese that's now Cheeto flavored.
It looked disgusting.
It's got that kick. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Yeah, so it does look disgusting, but I think there could be a shot where, I'm actually not a huge mac and cheese guy, period, but
what?
I think that could be good.
What'd you say?
Why is that weird? A bunch of macaroni with like cheese dripping all over it.
That's not possible. Look, Jimmy just told you it's a Canadian. It's like you got to have it. I had at least one when I was a kid too.
The first time I made dinner for a girl.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
High school girlfriend. But I don't think it was during high school. We had a little rekindling afterwards. That was Leslie.
Oh, Leslie.
Beep, beep.
So she came over and I put candles on the table and made mac and cheese.
Wow.
And there was no sense of irony in me making the mac and cheese. I thought that was a wonderful meal.
Did you I was making. Cut up the hot dogs into it?
No, I didn't add the hot dog. I just went.
that would have sealed it.
That's why you guys aren't together still.
Just wow. Did you have no
it's
ketchup?
Amazing. I had like. I think ketchup was on the side if you chose.
Oh no, you're not a ketchup with mac cheese guy, are you?
Always.
Totally.
Oh,
I
could see that. I don't think
I can eat it without. But come on, you know what? Can I tell you something? I put up. Listen, this is the way Facebook works. But I put up a big thing about George Floyd and everything last year, and I got a lot of traction on that. But then I also put up this thing about mac and cheese, and I had some ketchup on it. You would not believe how people went off about this thing with mac and cheese and ketchup. It's just,
George Floyd 100 likes.
Yes, it's like, like people were like getting into it. Like, I can't talk to you anymore. It's disgusting.
Yeah,
that might be the problem with society.
Just a little.
It's like Black Lives Matter, but mac and cheese and ketchup? Are you kidding me, Lester?
No. Listen, to be fair, I got a lot of, like, a matter of fact, I ended up doing a podcast with you, Stoff, about that post I did about George Floyd, if you recall. But it was well received, but it was just funny. Like, it was this little thing I thought was nothing of, and people went nuts. So it's very polarizing. You're right. Well, mac and cheese.
Food on the internet in general. So I guess this leads me to this. They filmed this mac and cheese being made and it blows up because it looks crazy. What if we did a post with Jimmy making aspic?
That would do pretty well.
Whoa.
Because people
get the recipe, get the recipe from mom and do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Rex Chapman would literally retweet you and be like, what the is this?
Yeah, he would. And then all of a sudden, boom,
viral.
I will effort to do that. I think that would be a good little project.
That's
Maybe
it
would
idea.
be my first TikTok video.
Yeah. Do like a whole little mini cooking show.
A little music behind it.
Yeah.
All right. Aspic. I'm going to put that on my list. I got to write stuff down. I forget everything now. So yeah, like I put it on that. I put it on scrambled eggs, but don't do that often. People do it a lot.
What's that, ketchup?
Ketchup?
I think is it Carlo Coliacovo. Somebody puts ketchup on some crazy Yeah, he puts it on steak.
Well, no, Carlo, the crazy thing he does is he eats shrimp and Jell-O at the same time.
What?
Oh, yeah. Like cold shrimp and Jell-O.
That's
go with
weird
I mean, you can't really go to buffets anymore, but if you take Carlo, you will see some things.
Well, when I did the morning show last year and talked about, and I probably talked about it on the pod too, but I think Landsberg was asking me about the craziest thing I ate, and I brought up aspic, but I also said, and I think we've talked about it on the pod, the sandwiches that my mom would give me at my lunch were peanut butter and jam normally, peanut butter and banana normally, peanut butter and lettuce on white bread. Did we talk about this stuff?
Yes, I remember this.
You did.
Yeah, so peanut butter, lettuce, and then jam and cheese. Cheese whiz and strawberry jam. Those were the
That's
two other things.
Disgusting one.
I'll be honest,
Yeah,
that
but
one
then-
seems more normal than the lettuce one.
Yeah, the peanut butter and lettuce one was weird, but Carlo had a weird ass one too that was just goofy. People are weird. Our parents' generation was strange.
That's
Plus,
true.
they didn't know anything about like. I think they were fed back in the 60s and 70s. No one was saying, "Oh, you're eating too much sugar" or whatever. Like I should be dead. I ate a box of Pop-Tarts every day for breakfast. I would come home from school and have a can of cherry pie filling, which probably has 1 million grams of sugar in it. I would have like 4 wagon wheels.
Sugar cubes.
Yeah. There was always sugar on the table, right? To pour on the cereal. Did you have? Of
course.
Yeah.
Well, my parents had the sugar cubes that they would take out like when they had people over for like coffee or tea or something. And if I found that box,
it's amazing we're all alive.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody
But
was
this
checking the
shows
grams of
you
sugar.
it's all fine.
Right?
Listen. I think I agree. Kind of agree with what Puffy's saying here. Like I think don't get me wrong. Like you can't be ridiculous, but
Nothing
I think
in excess,
our
but
society has been oversensitive. But I also will say this to counter that point, Puffy. I think the way food is processed has changed since we were kids, and I think the stuff that was fine when we were kids is not so much fine now. So
It's sort of like the sun. Like when we were kids, the sun was fine. Now it's like trying to kill us.
Well, no, that's partly true because the ozone's got holes in it. But I think we were all screwed. We just didn't know anything back then.
Yeah,
right?
it was always trying to kill us. We just figured it out.
Yeah. Would it have been better? Would we have been better? Were we better back then when we didn't know everything that was killing us?
Yes, absolutely. I think we were.
Because now it's just no fun.
If you don't have a hamburger, you're guilty. You know.
There was like a sweet spot.
Speaking of which, not doing portion control, but today finished day 8 of the 21-day.
Well,
fix.
I did notice you're looking good.
Looking a little bit ripped. I'm not going to lie about it. Feeling really strong. It was leg day today. And I just want to tell you guys that I did not modify.
Ooh, poor Kat was on her own.
I lifted my legs off the ground instead of, Kat's modification.
The little taps.
Did the full plank instead of the modified Kat with her knees on the ground.
Whoa.
Screw you, Kat.
So you had gotten to the point in your fitness where you couldn't even plank anymore?
No, I'm just kidding. I wasn't doing that. Brooksy has had in the past some vertigo issues. So she can't go down in like plank positions and stuff all the time. So she has to do plank against a bench or something in her basement. You know what I mean? Like a semi plank like that.
So it's like an incline.
Yeah. She uses in the sex room. She uses some of the machines in the sex room for that.
Is Brooksy enjoying it?
The sex room? Oh, yeah.
The sex room?
Yeah, she loves it. Shades of Grey room? Yeah, we built it and the second Shades of Grey came out. Fortunately, Gracie found it the other day, and that was no. I think she's. You know what? The thing I like about it, Puffy, is that you don't have to tell yourself to do it, right? Like when you're doing your own workout, it's like, okay, you end up quitting after a certain amount of reps because you're tired, and this just tells you to keep going. And I like to be, we're all robots in a way. I like just to be told, put on the video, tell me what to do, I will do it. I don't have to think as much as when I'm doing it on my own. I just watch them, and then it's over. Boom.
Exactly.
I like it. I like it. Now I am sounding like a Beachbody ad. Once again, we are not sponsored by Beachbody, a multi-level marketing company. We are sponsored only by betsafe.net. Where were we in this thing? Anyway, the Cheetos thing, that's too much. I probably would like that as a kid, but too much. Too much.
I would definitely try it. I wouldn't go out of my own way to make it. But
Cheetos has to have like a zillion grams of sugar in it, right?
100%. Yeah.
Sure.
Really?
Crazy.
They put sugar in chips,
dude. Sugar, salt,
but they're so delicious.
Sugar, salt, fake
sugar.
Stuff,
they don't. You guys are lying to me. There's no chance they have sugar in chips.
Not sugar, but whatever. You think chips are healthy?
No, I'm sure Cheetos have some sugar because they're a little.
Well, chips,
not orange stuff.
Yeah, the orange.
Cheetos, they're not even real. That's like a synthetic, made up. There's not one bit of real food in a Cheeto, is there?
That's what makes it
Is
so
there an
good.
actual piece of any element of real food? That's your homework for this week, Puffy. Next week, I want you to have a bag of Cheetos, and we're going to read the ingredients.
It's got to be corn.
And let's see if there's anything.
Yeah, there's corn starch.
Corn starch.
Corn is the biggest killer of them all, buddy.
What?
Unless you're eating it on the cob at the local market.
Oh,
If you ever see like modified corn in your food, you're done. It's over for you. You got like weeks to live. Hey, speaking of me on TikTok, how about Bump on Instagram and TikTok with all the dance videos?
I like them chocolate cocoa puffs. I like them chocolate cocoa puffs. Go to the flow and then you beat his ass. I say Jason, Misha, Dunn, Cam, right.
He's killing it.
He's doing well.
Nail it. Yeah. He's got Puffy, and I can attest to the fact that Bump has very good rhythm. I would say Puffy and Bump are the best dancers from the middle-aged white guys that I know ever. Always at the Grey Cup parties or Masters parties. Another good one.
I have to admit, I'm starting to lose it.
You're losing your rhythm?
I am. Like I'm starting to become an old man white guy. Like when like a song will come on and I'll be with the kids and I'll be like, oh, this song's pretty good, eh, boys? And they're like, dude, stop doing that immediately. And then I'm like, what am I doing? I can't stop. And I'm like losing. I'm like, what happened?
Let me test. Well, I think I have to test you. What's a good dance track out right now? Keep talking.
Something from TikTok.
Oh, geez.
Dance Hits 2020. Hold on. I'm on the Apple right now. Dance Hits 2020.
Apple. Not Apple. The Apple.
Various artists, Dance Hits 2020. Let's go with Gold Digger by Fanny Pack. And Puffy, I want you to dance to this. Just from the navel up, because that's all we can see.
Yeah.
All right?
That's all we want to see.
Here we go. Gold Digger by Fanny
The rest
Pack.
will cost you a little money.
Only fans.
I can't even hear it.
You got to hold it towards you, James.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I got to put it here. Got it now? You have lost it.
It's not fair, though. It's not fair because no, but it's not fair because
he can't feel the bass in his chest.
He can't feel the bass. I don't know where the one is. Oh wait, that was better.
But yeah, like it's. I think that when this when like the pandemic's over, I think I'm gonna need to like go out to clubs for like 3 weeks and just like
listen. Can you
the
imagine
dance floor, grind it up, and see if I got it again?
Can you imagine when the panty's over, where people
panties?
are just the panty.
What are you thinking about right now?
Is that what the kids are calling the pandemic?
That's
now?
what somebody had to call
the
it.
panties.
It's pretty good. When a panty's over, we need a panty here, man. We need a panty. You can't do that in a panty. No, look. Can you imagine what it'll be like when this is over? It'll be like it'll be like when the war was over. It's gonna
be crazy.
Like, honest to God, like people dancing in the
there'll
streets.
be, when the panties over, there'll be panties everywhere.
The thing is, I think it's going to be very, very hard either way. It's either going to be a hard, everyone is just banging each other and it's going to be, or the other way where people have forgotten how to interact with like strangers and people are going to be so uncomfortable around and no one's going to know how to talk to people.
And no one knows how to dance anymore.
And no one knows how to
You'll
dance.
just want to Zoom everybody.
Yeah, you're like, I got to get out of here. There's 4 people here.
Are we still on things I saw on Twitter or the internet?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Well, who knows? Well, I will tell you that speaking of what you're speaking to Puff, a couple of days ago, it was reported that a orgy got shut down in France. 90 people. Yeah, they got shut down for breaking the protocol. 90 people on an orgy.
You know what? I give
How
my
do you
credit
shut
to the
down an
French.
orgy? You just hose them all down?
Yeah. I don't know. Like,
you stop that right now.
Put
that away. And back
if
away.
you're gonna break the protocol, you might as well go all the way.
Yeah, you might as well do a 90-person orgy.
Right.
Yes, that's true story. True story. This happened on outside of.
By the way, Puffy, did you say that when it's over, you're just gonna go into the clubs for 2 weeks and grind?
Yeah, I just want to see if I still got it.
Is Tad okay? Would Tanya be more mad about the gambling? Hey, Tanya, just so you know, I gotta go out the next 14 nights. I'm really out of my grinding.
I just got to see if I can still dance.
Hey, listen, mark it down. Well, this is what we will do. We will, when this pandemic is over, we, the Rubber Boots podcast crew, will go out to a club and get down.
We'll
and
throw a
grind it out.
rager.
Dirty.
Yes.
We'll throw our own party.
Yeah.
The Rubber Boots orgy 2022.
We'll go 91 people.
It's going to be exclusive. You're going to have 3 gold bars to get in.
I'm out.
Jimmy's going to be broke.
Should it be like, if I do get eliminated this week, and we'll get to the Gold Bar League and Puffy's props in a minute, how do I get back on? Like, can it be like The Bachelor, where I was thinking come on about later and I get
we also
shot?
have a couple listeners that are now at 0 gold bars. So we do need to find a way, I guess, for people to be able to, but it also shouldn't be super easy, and you should only get maybe 1 gold bar back at first.
You got to buy your way back in.
Yeah,
I can't do that either because I lost all my money to Chiefs.
Isn't there something called Memo, James? It is Valentine's season.
Did you see that?
I did. Will you be
I gotta tell
Valentine?
So I didn't want to just put it up there. So the Memo people contacted me last week and they say we're doing a Valentine's special where our top guys are each going to have a day where their memos are half price. Sorry, I don't say top guy as if I'm a top guy, but they're sportscasters that have a lot of followers or whatever. So, most of them, like Bob just puts his out there. It's Valentine's Day. I couldn't do that. So I kind of wrote on Instagram. Look, I don't know why you'd want a memo from me on Valentine's Day, but I'm trying to raise some money here for Deborah Canada. So go ahead. I did like 9 memos yesterday.
Really?
I don't know what is with people. I was literally like, hey, Melissa, it's James Duthie from TSN. Once again, Phil didn't get you anything this year and was really fresh out of ideas. Didn't think you'd like chocolate, but he thought a message from me, a Canadian cable sportscaster, would make your day. So, Melissa, happy Valentine's Day, and Phil loves you a whole lot. And I hope you get lucky tonight. It was ludicrous. I spent my entire day doing that yesterday.
That's awesome.
So thank you to everybody who sent out. You can still get me on Memo. I think the half price is probably over, but if your loved one wants,
I would have paid for just to see the interaction between O-Dog and the people of Memo when they were telling him he's got to buck up his Valentine's specials.
Oh man. Okay. Let's get to Puffy's props.
Props.
Brought to you by BetSafe.net.
All right, before we get to this week's Puffy's props, quickly for our listeners, how many listeners are in the listener standings now, Stoff? It's quite a bit. How many got in there?
Hundreds at least.
Okay, so any ones Carlo Poliakovo joined in the Gold Bar League this week.
Well, no, he joined actually the previous week.
And he's minus 30?
No, he sits at top. That's 30. He has 30 gold bars.
Oh,
he is the leader right now.
He bet it all on
you went on Tampa.
Brady, or was it the week before? Oh, okay.
This week he put 10 on Tampa. Previous week he put 10 on the Lakers, I believe.
Our super stud Reggie Matthews is down at 22, so he's fallen into the bronze medal podium position now.
He dropped 1 gold bar this week. Chewy Louie, another one of our loyal listeners. He put 10 on the Bucks, 5 on the over for the halftime show. And so he netted only +3, but he's at 23 now. So
there's some bold ass gambling going on here.
Hey, people go for it.
These guys
have really got nothing to lose when it's a podcast you listen to and they're not really real gold bars.
Let's shout out Andrew Barron at Andrew Barron 4, because he's the only person in our Gold Bar League, listener or otherwise, that achieved perfection. He bet on all 4 props and got all of them and doubled. He doubled his total. So this kind of bothers me because he only doubled his total he won 10 bars and Carlo won 10 bars.
Yeah.
For example, but Carlo only bet on one thing.
Yeah.
So this guy got all 4 things right.
So that's impressive.
Yeah.
Puffy, get a prize for him. I don't have anything.
Well, I will.
A stay at the estate.
Stay at the estate.
Hey, What was I going to say? Snack Bites Pete, you said he had a rough outing. He was like me. Me and Snack Bites Pete went 0 for 4.
Yeah, 0 for 4.
Snack Bite Pete lost 7 gold bars.
7 bars.
He's
He
only got
has one bar left.
One bar left.
So one of the best names on Twitter, but
and for the listeners who want to join this week, let's say they missed our last 2 pods or they're just catching on with the pod now because it's taking off.
It is.
Yeah. So would you start with 10? Do we let the newcomers start with their 10 gold
newcomers
bars?
always start with 10.
Start with 10.
Yeah.
10.
Okay.
That is
So you
that
start
is
week
the gold
3, so you get
standard
10?
of Gold Bar League.
Okay. All right. So basically,
also, I
anyone
will say this,
who hasn't freaking listened to our podcast at all is going to come in and have 7 more gold bars than the guy who hosts the podcast.
Precisely. I will point this out. When you are making your picks, specify how many gold bars, or we're just going to have to assume it's 1 gold bar each. That happened with Jim Gray this past week, so he's at 8.
Okay.
Jim Gray?
Jim Gray, who questioned Pete Rose and does the interviews on Westwood One Radio with Tom Brady.
I can only imagine. Yeah.
No. Jim Gray is also a faithful listener.
My buddy, my boy Ho had a good week. Yeah, I think he's up to 20 gold bars.
Yes, Ho TM as a trademark.
Yeah.
Made a bold move today, putting 10 gold bars on the under for the halftime show. Total at 20. At TJ Likes Pasta did the exact same thing. 20 bars for both of them.
Wow!
Congratulations!
They must have had some
to all our
inside
winners
information, though. That's pretty. That's a pretty big bet.
Yeah.
You know, they knew somebody.
Okay, so Puffy's props this week. Super Bowl is over. So Puffy, we're going to go back to some regular scheduled games this weekend. Go ahead.
Let's do our traditional Saturday night hockey game. Toronto, Montreal.
I should say, by the way, Puffy's Props is brought to you by betsafe.net. Not only can you play fun and free games on betsafe.net, but check out some of the lines they have there as well. So Toronto and Montreal Saturday night, just an even up, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do they play Thursday, Puff, or anything too?
They do. They play Wednesday.
Wednesday.
That's the tricky part. So once again, our listeners have an advantage.
They do.
That one is in Montreal or in Toronto?
I think tomorrow night's in Montreal, and I think Saturday's in Toronto.
The one we're doing is in Toronto.
Crowd factor.
Proud.
I am going to say that the Habs will win Thursday, and that's why I'm going to jump on your Leafs on Saturday for 1 gold bar. I got to ease my way back up. 1 gold bar. Lester.
Guys, I'll tell you right now, I hate betting on my team. I don't do it. But if you're putting me in the score, I can't abstain. I can't pass, eh?
No.
Okay, well, I got to go with my team. I'm going to put only 1 gold bar, but I'll put it on the Habs.
Puffy?
3 gold bars on the hottest team in the NHL.
I love gold.
That is the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Are they the hottest team? Because I really have no idea what's going on in the North, outside of the North. I went on a podcast yesterday with a couple of Flyers fans.
Yeah.
And they're really great guys. And they're like, so what do you think of the Flyers? And I'm like, yeah. They look pretty good, I think. Grab your phone, check the statistics. Van Riemsdyk is on fire. Which he is, by the way. Okay, stop. Last one on that game.
I'm also going to go with the hometown Leafs. 2 gold bars.
Okay. Second game, Puffy?
It is a basketball game, also a Saturday nighter, and it is the Brooklyn Nets traveling to San Francisco to play the Golden State Warriors.
All right. I am going to go. Who's back? Who's back? Is everybody back? Is like Durant back? Is Kyrie back for that thing?
Who knows? There's COVID going everywhere through that league. So
I like the Warriors. Always my second favorite team. I love Steph. Warriors 1 gold bar. Lester?
I will say agree. One gold bar for the Warriors.
Huh?
I am going to go with the Nets for 3 gold bars.
I love gold.
Props to Puffy for the props. Puffy's props. See, now
Puffy's
you have to
props
bring
for
props
props
every week. Like you have to be
Every
like Carrot
week.
Top. Yeah, Carrot Top. You have to have something different. Stop.
I'm going to go Warriors 1 gold bar as well.
For our last one, Puffy and I came up with this one together. The Pebble Beach Pro-Am is this weekend. Because we can't pick golfers because we're doing this on Tuesday, taping this on Tuesday morning. And so you might not hear this. The tournament will already be underway by the time you watch this. So Clint Eastwood, I know I watch the Pebble Beach Pro-Am every year. Clint Eastwood is the host of that tournament. Every year, or almost every year, he comes on and does an interview with Jim Nantz and Nick Faldo in the tower. Clint is now 91 years old. The last couple of interviews, he's still amazing, but it's a little more challenging for him. And now we're in the middle of a pandemic. Does Clint Eastwood appear in the tower, not on Zoom or anything, not remotely? Does he appear with Jim Nantz and or Nick Faldo? He just has to appear with Nantz in the tower on Sunday at the Pebble Beach Pro-Am. I'm getting emotional thinking about it. And Puffy, you're the guy who establishes odds for this. You're thinking it's a low chance in a pandemic that a 91-year-old makes it up to the tower. So what are you giving the odds here? If you bet 3 gold bars.
I think he should get 3 gold bars for every one you wager if he is in the tower on Sunday.
Okay. So he has to be. I'm telling you what. This could knock me out of the gold bar league, right?
Yes,
if I've lost my. Okay, so if I bet 1 gold bar that he is in the tower, I will win 3.
Well, yes, but James, just so you know, you only have 1 gold bar to bet.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So I'm betting my 1 gold bar. Yes, Clint's in the tower with Nance.
Okay.
Lester. I'm going to say no, he's not there.
All right. How many gold bars?
1 gold bar.
Puffy? Oh. By the way, when I point like this,
you don't know who you're pointing at.
I'm top left in my gallery view. Like that's Puffy, that's Stoff, and that's Lester. But
how are we going to see that?
For us.
I don't know. I just thought you guys might have the same boxes as me. I'm used to doing in television. Like when I do television and I'm doing a quiz or something, everybody's in boxes and everybody has the same boxes. But I'm just not used to the Zoom stuff. Sorry.
Yeah. I am going to bet 3 gold bars that Clint Eastwood is in the tower.
I love gold.
Wow. 90 years old. He's lived through the Spanish flu. He fears nothing. He will be there on Sunday.
He did not live through the Spanish flu. He would have to be 103 to have lived through the Spanish flu, not 91.
It's the Spanish flu too. A second one, the one that was more deadly.
I will say that due to his very strong political beliefs, there's a very good chance that Clint is a COVID denier, so he will be there.
Very good point.
I'm going to put 2 gold bars on that.
Awesome. A couple of things before we leave you today. By the way, are we missing anything? Stop. Did we miss anything major?
No, sorry, Jimmy. So you took he will be there for 1 bar?
Yeah, 1 gold bar. I have 1 gold bar on each one of these things. You have the Rubber Boots mailbag here. I love this too. Our friend David Terpanier was listening to episode 2 of the pod, and his daughter went and put on her rubber boots to listen with her dad.
I saw that. Was
not sure we want your daughters, especially the young ones, listening to the Rubber Boots pod.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that we're mostly cute, innocent content here, aren't we? They can listen to the Aspic segment. I think that's funny. This was a really difficult week at TSN as some of our friends were let go in a difficult time here in the pandemic. And frankly, I don't think Twitter or Instagram or even this is the best way to say what these people mean to us. I prefer to say it in person as we've done. But we miss Danny O'Toole. Stoff does such a fantastic job on the Jay and Dan podcast as well. We love Danny. We love Jay too, who carries on with his own show. Brent Wallace, who's I think appeared in several dream sequences of mine. Brent will stay in my dreams, but love Wally too, as I know the 3 you guys do. Natasha as well. I can't say that Natasha's been in my dreams because that would just be really creepy. But as one of the classiest and nicest people that we've had at our network. And Christian Jack, who I've been, one of the great pleasures I have in bouncing around from sport to sport is to get to work with different analysts. And KJ, I will say, is one of the single best analysts and best people that I've worked with in my entire career in the business. And we tend to focus on camera people because that's what we do. But Jan Staniszewski worked on CFL with me from day one. Puffy knows him really well. Terrific guy. Jeff McLeod, incredibly hardworking producer, wonderful guy. I keep saying wonderful guy or wonderful girl because we have just amazing people at TSN, and I mean that when we say it. George Nasios, another excellent producer at Sports Center. Mo and Kim are directors who talk to me in my ear on shows like this. And the Pepsi ads that we were a part of last year, guys, Chris Sokolowski and Aaron Stone, who's one of my favorites at TSN, also let go. And they were a big part of the Pepsi ads that we worked on and brand partnerships. And I'm probably missing people. I've tried to reach out to everybody. I know you guys have as well, but we love all of them, and we certainly wish all of them the best. And as we're taping this, we're just getting some word on some radio cancellations too in Vancouver and Winnipeg and Hamilton. I don't have all the details on that yet because it's Tuesday, but our hearts go out to them as well. So we wish them the best. We wish all of you the best. We know the one thing that's awkward as well is because our industry is not the only one hurting. And, you know, because it's always a fuss on Twitter when someone on your television loses their job, we know fully well that in almost every industry, tons of people have lost their jobs. And every single one of those stories is extremely sad. Just because it's TSN or television doesn't make it any more sad. So to all the families hurting out there right now, we hope we all get through this, and we hope better times are ahead. And we hope we can continue to provide you an escape every week here on the Rubber Boots Pod.